Please, if you feel me, help me sing it out.
Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. It's your girl LeilaaNoel, and as you can see, for the guys who've been subscribing to me for a while, I got a new hair color and I'm loving it. Like, it's so cute. Y'all, I haven't had navy blue hair since literally I was in high school, and it feels so great to have my navy blue back. Okay, so I'm going to give you a tutorial on how I got this look right here. So I'm not going to make this intro too long. Y'all know me, so let's hop right into the video. So before we get started, I just wanted to show y'all my bonnets. They're so cute. Like, I love these bonnets, and they stay on all night. So make sure y'all shop with me at Noelbeautiesextensions. This is the wig that I'm going to be installing today. If you have not seen the video on how I colored this wig, I'll leave it in the description box. I'll leave the link in the description box below. Right here, I'm just going to be starting off by taking a tissue with some alcohol on it, and I'm just cleansing my hairline. I'm not going to be gluing the wig down today, but I did want to make sure that my hairline is clean so that it didn't interfere with any products that I'm about to use. I did oil my scalp, and this is the oil that I use right there. I did oil my scalp before I started this install, and it's very important to oil your scalp down before you do an install, because wig installs are supposed to be a protective style. Your edges and all of that shouldn't be falling out. So this is the way. Well, I don't think, first of all, if your wig installs are done correctly, your edges ain't gonna fall out, but we'll talk about that later. That is the oil that I use, and you can also shop the hair growth oil at Noelbeautiesextensions as well. It's my mama's oil, so make sure y'all leave good reviews. Thank you, period. So I just took my edge control, nail down edge control, also found on Noelbeautiesextensions. I'm gonna say that like 15 times during this video, but y'all get the gist. Shop with me at Noelbeautiesextensions, period. So I just took my edge control and I laid down my edges so I can make sure I look bald as possible before I put on this wig. The stocking cap that I'm using right here, I got from Amazon.com, so I'll leave that in the description box below as well. So right now I'm just cutting out my ear tabs, and this is going to help the cap stay down while I'm, melting it or whatever. So now I'm just taking my holding spray, also Noelbeautiesextensions, shop with me. I'm just taking the holding spray and I'm just spraying it on the front of my cap where my lace closure will be laid down. So I'm just making sure all of that is pretty much melted in. Once I'm done placing the hairspray, I will spray this like on the top of my cap too, as you will see in these next few clips. Once I'm done spraying this on the front of my cap, I'm going to take my blow dryer and just make sure my cap is dried down, and you're going to know it's dried down once it starts to feel a little hard. Like, it feels, I don't want to say crunchy. Yeah, it feels a little hard. I don't want to say crunchy. But yeah, I'm switching my blow dryer heat between warm and cool to blow dry my cap down. I don't really like to use hot because, I don't want to burn myself. So I just use warm and cool to make sure that cap is melted in, as you can see right here. Then to tack my cap down, I'm just going to use needle and thread and sew around where the closure is going to be. Now, I didn't do from ear to ear because this is just a closure. So as far as I thought the lace was going to be, that's where I sewed down on the cap. If that makes sense. I'm sorry. If that makes sense, yeah, that's where I sewed down, because I will be cutting around my ear tabs, and I just don't want the cap to lift up while I'm, molding it down. So just making sure this is tacked down with some needle and thread. And this is not completely necessary. Like, if you don't want to mold your cap down, it's not necessary to do this every time you do a wig install, especially for closures. But I just wanted to do it this time. If you saw my recent video, you see I didn't use this method. But I used this method today in this video because I wanted to make sure that my cap would stay down, because I was going to be wearing my wig for a couple days. Even though it was glueless, I did not want to take it on and off, so I just made sure my cap was molded down underneath. So right here you'll see me using a pair of scissors, and sometimes I use a razor, sometimes I use scissors. I just go back and forth between what I can find the fastest. So I'm just getting really, really close to my hairline, because I'm basically trying to make myself look like a little alien. I want y'all to see no hair. So I did in this video, I got a little bit too close to my hairline, but it's still gonna work out. I don't recommend going this far back. I actually did that by accident, but I want you guys to see that it still will work. The flatter that you make your cap, the more melted it is, and the more you look like an alien, the more laid your wigs are going to look. So I haven't done the ball cap method in a minute, so I was kind of slipping here, but listen, I still got the job done. So now I'm just cutting around my ear tabs, and as you can see, once I cut around the ear tabs, the cap did lift a little bit more, but it wasn't bad. So yeah, that's just the method that I'm using for cutting around my ball cap. And then I just take the back of the cap and I'm just going to tuck it underneath. So now that I have the extra material removed from my cap, I'm just going to be tinting my cap with a little bit of makeup. Right here, I'm using LA Girl Pro Conceal, I believe. I forget the shade that it was, but I'll try to link it down in the description box. And basically what this does is it finishes off you looking like an alien. So it just gives you that bald effect so that when you put your wig on, it's just going to blend so seamlessly, especially because I'm using HD lace today. So now that I tinted my cap, I'm just taking alcohol again on a piece of tissue, and I'm just removing the excess makeup from around my cap so that when I put my wig on, as you can see right here, y'all, I'm so excited. So as you can see right here, I just put my wig on and it just blends so seamlessly with my skin. Like, I didn't even cut the lace off yet. Like, y'all can still see it a little bit. But yeah, this is how it looked as soon as I put my wig on. Of course, I customized it and everything off camera, but if you want to see a video on how I colored this hair, I'll link those videos down in the description box, because I did I did a bleach bath to color it like to a blonde color, and then I went over it with blue hair color, the semi-permanent, and I did a watercolor method for that. So now I'm just taking my hot comb, also from Noelbeautiesextensions, and I'm just making sure all of the hair is out the way so I can do what I need to do and mold this wig to my head. I'm not necessarily melting it down. Like, I don't want you guys to think that it was stuck to my head as if I glued it down. Like, you'll see, I think I inserted a few clips in the beginning of this video so that you guys can see that it wasn't stuck to my head at all. Like, it wasn't glued down. It was just, you know, molded and formed into my skin so it can be pressed into my skin. That's what I was trying to get to. That's what I was trying to say. But I'm taking the hairspray that I used to mold my cap down, and I'm just spraying that on the hairline of the wig, and then you're just going to see me comb this hair back just so that it can be laid in the right direction, and I won't really have to, you know, play with it too much once I take my elastic band off, because I will be using an elastic band. As you can see in the next couple clips, you'll see me use an elastic band, also from Noelbeautiesextensions. But before I do that, I'm just cutting those thick tabs off of the lace that was on the side, because if you leave those on, then you're going to have to lift up your wig. You're going to have to lift up your wig to cut those tabs off just a little bit, and I didn't want to have to lift my wig at all. That's why I just cut it before I put the elastic band down, and I do recommend you guys doing that, because you don't want to, you know, mess with the lace too much after you put the elastic band down, because that's going to help it mold to your head. So just to speed up the process, now I could have let this air dry, but just to speed up the process, I did use my blow dryer on. I used my blow dryer on warm, and then once I got close to like being done, once I could see that the hair was dry, I switched my blow dryer off to cool. And basically what this does, it just melts the lace into my skin. Yeah, it just melts the lace into my skin. So I'm gonna let y'all enjoy the rest of this video, and I'll hop back on here when I need to give y'all more instructions. Now that the Hold Me Down spray is fully dry, I'm just going to go in and define my part a little bit more just to make sure everything is straight, laid, silked down, all that good stuff. I did already use my wax stick on this hair when I customized it, so I don't think I added any extra product. I'm just taking my hot comb and, hot combing the part down. And I already did put concealer in the part, but just to make sure it's extra, extra, extra defined, I had to go back in and just use a little bit of concealer. Now, this concealer I know is LA Girl Pro in the shade Fawn, because I always use Fawn for my middle parts. If I can't find Fawn, then I think I use a shade called Toffee, but I'm pretty sure this is Fawn. And I'm just taking this in the middle, y'all. This part literally gives me so much anxiety because I have to make sure my parts are so super straight. So make sure you're paying attention with this part, because I hate parts that just be, leaning to the side and stuff. So make sure you pay attention when you're doing this part. I usually do mine on a mannequin, but like I said, I want a little bit more definition. So that's why I chose to go over it again while I was styling my hair. But after I took that elastic band off, I just added a little bit more to the front, and as you can see, it looks perfecto. Like, I just love this install. This was one of my favorite installs that I've ever done. Okay, so now I'm a little bit too hyped. So now I'm just taking my scissors and I'm just cutting around that lace, and you do want to cut in a zigzag motion. Like, look at that, y'all. Look at that. Look how good that looks. And I didn't even do anything. I just cut the lace. So now I'm just taking my scissors, cutting the lace off, making sure everything looks good. Cut it in a zigzag motion. Y'all know the drill. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing. And this piece is, this part is really, really crucial. The way that you cut the lace is going to determine how realistic your install looks. You definitely don't want to cut it straight across. Like, cut it in a zigzag motion. On some of the knots, you can still see that they're kind of blue a little bit. So I'm making sure that I'm cutting every knot off that I don't even need. If I don't need it, I'm cutting it off. So that's what I was making sure that I'm doing here. And now, I did go back in and use my wax stick. So I'm using my wax stick to lay down those flyaways. This is the Slick Me Down wax stick from Noelbeautiesextensions. So make sure y'all shop with me. I cannot get it through. I cannot repeat myself enough. Make sure y'all shop with me at Noelbeautiesextensions if you haven't already. So I'm using that wax stick, and I'm just going to make sure the front of my hair is laid down. I have a specific way that I like the front of my hair to be laid down. I can't explain it, but the front is kind of like pushed back. Like, it's not, just straight down from side to side. It's kind of like pushed back, and then on the sides, I just straighten it down. Like, I can't even explain it. I'm just going to let y'all watch me do what I do. But yeah, you're gonna see me mess with this front a little bit to get it like perfect how I want it. But yeah, I'm just gonna let y'all watch what I do because I can't really explain it. So now that I have that hairline laid and perfected how I wanted it to be, I'm just taking my beauty blender with a little bit of excess makeup. This is the same beauty blender that I used to do my makeup for this day. So now I'm just taking my beauty blender and making sure that hairline is blended with my skin. Now I'm taking the Heat Me Down Heat Protecting Spray from Noelbeautiesextensions. Again, shop with me. And I'm not using this as a heat protector, but more so to just give me a glossy finish to this hairstyle. And y'all, this is the finished look. Hey beauties, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like the finished look, please like and comment and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in my next video.